Hello again and welcome to another Nick Beck's Watch Reviews. As you can see in front of the camera here, I have a new Seiko chronograph. This one is from Watch Nation. Just recently received it. Absolutely cracking watch. I think this is one of Seiko's little hidden gems. Anyway, as ever, before I continue with my review, let me just say a couple of thank yous. Thank you to all my subscribers. I've had a couple of recent subscribers last few days. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for all your kind words, all my support from the other YouTubers, other watch reviewers, i.e. the Bombardier, always very encouraging and very complimentary. So that's my thank yous out the way. Thanks again, everybody. You're all superstars. Keep watching, keep subscribing, and all those things. So, moving on. This is my new Seiko quartz chronograph. Like I say, a bit of a hidden gem. I found this on Watch Nation. I've been looking at it for absolutely ages, and it's an amazing price. I mean, absolutely amazing. This was £119, and to be honest, I've seen it on Amazon, I've seen it on other web shops, and it's always kind of pushing the 200 mark, and sometimes even more than that. And I have to be honest, I've had the strap version with a black dial of this one. As you can see, this one's a blue dial with a bracelet. Now, the strap version is a lovely watch. Really nice quality, and I was always very chuffed with it. And like I say, it's in one of my previous videos, so please take a look. I honestly didn't think with the bracelet this was going to be much. I thought it may feel a little bit cheaper. Maybe Seiko have cut corners on certain things. Admittedly, it's a Hardlex crystal and a press class bracelet, which I will show you. But when I received it, opened the box, I thought, yeah, I like the look of that. That's as nice as it looks in the photographs. When I picked it up, that was the biggest thing. I thought, you know what? This really is one of Seiko's hidden gems. So what we have in front of you here, and I'll just show you the little the little tag. It's a SSB267P1, water resistant of 100 meters, and typical Seiko Hardlex crystal. Like I say, a bit of a hidden gem. So I picked it up and thought, oh, okay, that's quite a lot nicer than I expected. Certainly doesn't feel cheap. Anyway, let me bring it up to the camera and show you the watch a little bit. So here it is. It's full stainless steel. You have a blue dial, and the dial's kind of like a matte dial, and you have rather large, let's just wipe the dust off there, got rather large numerals. Cracking loom on this watch, and I will show you a loom shot. You have your standard Seiko chronograph. Now I do believe, and I'm not 100% sure, so somebody could sort of correct me on this, I think this is a mecha quartz chronograph. So if I press the top button, you can see the hands sweeping. And I'll stop that again, and if I just press it, it snaps back very quickly. So I've got a feeling, like I say, this is a mecha quartz movement. So please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always happy to get the information. You've got very narrow syringe style hands, and they go right out to the minute hand goes right out to the pips. Topped or tipped with black. If I bring that right up to the camera, you can see it's tipped with a black coating there. Let's see if I can, that's better. You've got a really arrow-like second hand. Now what I like about this one, and so far it's not very common, but all the hands seem to line up. All the second hand, all the chronograph hands seem to line up perfectly. and the minute track around the edge there, which is actually raised, lines up perfectly. And I know, anybody that knows a Seiko knows that they're not always best at that. So you've got your 3 dials, you've got your, I'm going to actually start it because I've just pressed the crown in. You've got your continuous second hand down at the bottom by the 6. You have your chrono hands, the main sweeping second hand, and I'll start that. There we go. The main sweeping second hand, and you can see the minutes at 12 and then the hours at 9 o'clock. You have a applied Seiko logo and chronograph 100 just underneath there. And like I say, lovely minute track that's kind of raised. I'm guessing that's a separate piece inside the dial. All the hands line up perfectly. And I tell you what I did notice about this, the 3 o'clock date wheel there, the date seems to sit very, very straight inside the frame, which again, and I don't want to criticize Seiko too much because I love Seiko watches. I think they're just the best. But you can see it's very well lined up, and everything on this is very crisp. It's very cleanly done, and I'm really, really very impressed with the finish of this one. Now, moving outside the dial, you've got the whole watch is brushed. You have a fixed brush bezel. You've got like I don't know, I suppose you'd call that I don't know what crown you'd call that. It's quite a big crown. It's quite a, I don't know what the word is, like a cupcake almost. And then you've got your pushers. And these pushers, again, which brings me back to the fact that I think it's probably Mecha Quartz, have got a really nice feedback feel to them, a real proper click to them. So, and when if it would actually stay in focus, when I reset, like I say, you got this fantastic sharp click back into place. So going around, like I say, the whole case seems to be brushed. There doesn't seem to be any polished edges on this one at all. It's brushed all the way round. Get that actually come into focus there. There we go. It's brushed all the way around. There's a slightly polished edge on the screw down case back. Even the lugs on this one, which are friction pins, are brushed on the sides. There's no polishing at all on them. But the strap or the bracelet, I can't really see a join. So I think these are solid links. And it would certainly speak for the watch because it's got a really, really solid feel, and it's actually quite heavy, this watch. So you've got the old press clasp, which I think is possibly the only letdown. But then bearing in mind the price point on this one, that's not the end of the world, is it? Nice firm action there, signed clasp with Seiko, your 2 push buttons. The edge of the clasp is polished, which is a bit odd because, like I say, the links are all brushed. So flipping the watch back over, I will show you some wrist shots, but and some loom shots. But it really is a surprise. I was really, really pleased when I took it out of the box, because normally I'll buy a watch and within kind of a week I'm bored with it and I'm selling it on eBay or something like that. But I think for an everyday, classy looking, quality, I'd say probably a bit retro chronograph, this is probably going to be a keeper. I think I'm going to kind of this is going to be my everyday watch. And I'm looking forward to it being a little bit scratched and a little bit marked because it's so brand new at the moment. I'm frightened to even put it on my wrist. But I think it's it's going to be my everydayer. So that's the new Seiko. The case size on this one is actually quite big. This is a 45mm. I've measured that. The lug width is 22, and that actually tapers down to 20. The lug to lug on this is actually 50mm. So it does actually wear quite big. Now I'm lucky because I'm a tall fella. I can kind of get away with a big watch. However, I do happen to have fairly thin wrists. So what I'm going to do is I will pop it on my wrist and let you have a look and see for yourself. So there you go, on the wrist. It's a shame it hasn't got any anti-reflective coating on this one, but it doesn't seem to reflect too much. In fact, I think because the dial's matte, it does actually sit quite well without reflection. So, like I say, it's a big watch, and it's quite heavy, this one. It is quite heavy. It certainly feels like you've paid your money for it, despite the fact it was considering, you know, a lot of watches now. £120, I think, is pretty good for a good quality brand like Seiko, and something. I think the great thing with Seiko, it's a little bit like your Casio G-Shock. Watch collectors, watch enthusiasts, watch snobs, everybody that's into watches can wear a Seiko or a Casio G-Shock, because they seem to be a bit of a classless timepiece. So I shan't bore you anymore. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and give us some thumbs up and what have you. And yeah, I'll leave you with this one. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great Christmas. Like I say, I wasn't actually going to do another video before Christmas, but this was a bit of a bargain, bit of a steal, and I just had to have it. And do you know what? Give it a go, because I think if you can find one, and unfortunately this was the last one Watch Nation had, but if you can find one, it seriously is a lot more for your money than you probably expect. It's yeah, it's cracking. And that blue dial, I think it's nice actually to have just a plain matte blue dial instead of the sunburst effect, which seems to be on everything at the moment, because this actually gives you an opportunity to look at a blue dial without sort of too much reflection from the sunburst. Again, not in the slightest bit, criticizing sunburst dials. I love them, but this one just seems to go well in blue. It's got almost like a Royal Navy military look about it. So, like I say, I shan't bore you any longer. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.